Welcome to SATV News. This is Shibala Alam with our headlines. Today is the Holy Hajj. 1 million Muslims participated this time. Other countries in the Middle East, including Saudi Arabia, will celebrate Eid al-Adha tomorrow. Fear of militant attack on Eid Jamaat is not unfounded, warns DMP Commissioner. Inspection of security arrangements at National Eidgah. Preparations underway. Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe died, was shot at a political campaign event. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina expressed deep shock and sorrow. Today is the Holy Hajj. Huge crowds of Muslim pilgrims started praying on Saudi Arabia's Mount Arafat early Friday, the high point of the biggest Hajj pilgrimage since the pandemic forced drastic cuts in numbers for 2 years in a row. The worshippers, capped at 1 million, including 850,000 from abroad chosen by lottery, spent the night at the camps in the valley of Mina, 7 kilometers from Mecca's Grand Mosque, Islam's holiest site. In the early hours of Friday, they converged on Mount Arafat, where the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is believed to have delivered his final sermon, for the most important for the Hajj rituals. They stay all day at the site, praying and reciting the Quran, the Muslim holy book. After sunset, they will head to Muzdalifah, halfway between Arafat and Mina, where they will sleep under the stars before performing the symbolic stoning of the devil ceremony on Saturday. This year's Hajj is taking place against the backdrop of a resurgence of COVID-19 in the region, with some Gulf countries tightening restrictions to keep outbreaks in check. Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has died after he was shot dead on Friday during a campaign event in western Japan, national broadcaster NHK has reported. Abe, 67, has been delivering a stump speech near a train station in the western city of Nara, where he was shot by an assailant. Media reported that Abe had been shot on the left side of his chest and apparently also in the neck. Police identified the suspected shooter at Tetsuya Yamagami, a resident of Nara. NHK quoted the suspect as telling police he was dissatisfied with Abe and wanted to kill him. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today expressed deep shock and sorrow at the death of the former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. The Prime Minister prayed for eternal peace of the departed soul and conveyed deep sympathy to the bereaved family. Separately, Foreign Minister A.K. Abdul Momen also expressed deep shock of the death of Shinzo Abe. Meanwhile, Dhaka Metropolitan Police Commissioner Shafiqul Islam said that the threat of militant attack on Eid Jamaat could not be ruled out. He said this after inspecting the security arrangements at the National Eidgah Maidan in the morning. Nothing that no untoward incident has been reported from cattle markets so far, the DMP Commissioner said. Police are working to ensure security at important places, including Eidgah. Besides, preparations for the National Eidgah are in the last stage. The main congregation of Eid will be held at the National Eidgah Maidan. Every year, devotees go to this ground to perform Eid prayers for the metropolis as well as the surrounding areas of the capital. That is why last-minute preparations are going on. The whole ground is being cleaned. All necessary steps are being taken, including ceiling fan, to alleviate the suffering of the devotees in hot weather. There is only 1 day left for Eid al-Adha, so the people of the capital are in a difficult battle to return home. Train passengers are leaving Dhaka with suffering. Even on the 4th day of the Eid journey, they were embarrassed by the train schedule crash. The station manager said that it could not be controlled as the pressure of passengers increased on Eid. He himself admitted the matter of schedule disaster. All the 16 trains left Komlapur till 11 a.m. There was a mishap due to the arrival of western trains. The Sundarbans, Nil Sagar, Kornafuli Express and Rangpur Express stations have at least 2 to 3 hours late. Passengers are suffering on the platform. Some people also said they were relieved to be able to go home after overcoming obstacles. As the Holy Eid al-Adha drawing nearer, hundreds of people were thronging on different roads and highways on Thursday to reach their ancestral village homes for celebrating the religious festival with their near and dear ones. They were leaving the capital for the destinations by bus, train and launch. Ahead of Eid, crowds of passengers were seen on various bus counters in the capital. As usual, the passengers expressed their frustrations over getting the scheduled ticket and bus on time. Passengers complained of charging more than the stipulated fare. Meanwhile, the increased number of vehicles created a long tailback near Bangabandhu Beach on the Dhaka-Tangal highway. Homebound people were stuck for long hours on the road and suffered immensely. Renowned composer and 7-time National Film Award-winning music director Alam Khan died at a hospital in the capital on Friday morning. The 78-year-old music director breathed his last at 11:32 a.m. while undergoing treatment at the hospital. Alam Khan's son, music director Arman Khan, confirmed the news to media. Arman said he was suffering from old age complications for long. He began his career by assisting composers like Robin Ghosh, Altaf Mahmood and Satya Shaha, and his first solo work was in the 1970 film Kanch Kata Hire. The song Ore Nil Doria from Saring Bow brought him to spotlight, and he went on to win National Film Awards for films like Boro Bhalo Lok Chilo, Tin Konna, Surrender, Dinkal, Bagher Thaba, Ibadat and Ki Jadu Gorilla. It was through him that Firdaus Wahid, Andrew Kishore and Sheikh Ishtiaq debuted in playback. He was most recent music director for the 2011 film Ki Apon Ke Por. Eminent Bangladeshi actress Sharmili Ahmed passed away at the age of 75 on Friday. She breathed her last at a private hospital in the capital this morning. Born in 1947 in Belurchok village in Murshidabad, Sharmili started her career on radio in 1962 before making a foray into films in 1964 and television 4 years later. Sharmili started her acting career through Urdu films and acted in 4 Urdu films: Jugnu, Ujala, Panchi Baura and Tikana. Her first Bengal film was Abirbhav, directed by Subhash Datta. Alongside films, Sharmila Ahmed was regular in television dramas as well. She worked in over 300 teleplays like Achol, Bhalobashi Tomake, Nibedita, Sharabella, Bohurupi, Bhalobasha and Rupa. In her long acting career, both in film and drama, Sharmili Ahmed received a number of prestigious awards. In 1985, she was honored with Badshah's Award for her acting talent in the movie Dohon. She was also won Ritwik Ghatak Golden Award, Ananna Award, Alokito Nari Award, Syed Mahidul Islam Memorial Award and others. Viewers are taking a short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. Now we move on to the international story updates. The race to replace Boris Johnson has begun after the Prime Minister quit as Tory leader following a dramatic few days that saw his authority collapse. Tom Tugendhat is the latest MP to throw his hat into the ring, joining Attorney General Suella Braverman and Brexiteer Steve Baker, who have shown interest. Mr. Johnson plans to stay on as Prime Minister until a new successor is found by the autumn. However, many colleagues and opposition politicians want him to leave now, but he has already filled cabinet jobs. Mr. Johnson resigned on Thursday following 2 days of desperate attempts to cling onto power amid a flood of resignations. Nearly 60 Conservative MPs have quit government roles in recent days at both senior and junior levels, raising doubts about the government's ability to function. Speaking to a newly appointed cabinet on Thursday, Mr. Johnson promised that he would not use his remain.
Perhaps a new Prime Minister by the end of the month, but
In the US, Derek Chauvin has received a federal sentence over the death of George Floyd. The former police officer was sentenced to 21 years in prison by a federal court for violating George Floyd's civil rights. The judge called his actions, by quoting, simply wrong and offensive. The ruling on Thursday follows the killing of Floyd on May 25, 2020 in Minneapolis, when Chauvin fatally pinned Floyd to the pavement for over 9 minutes, causing breathing difficulties. Floyd's death sparked global protest over police brutality and racism. Chauvin is already behind bars after being sentenced to 22 years in prison in June 2021 for second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. His two sentences will run concurrently and he will be moved from state prison to federal prison. Before ending, we'll move through the headlines again. Today is Holy Hajj. 1 million Muslims participated this time. Other countries in the Middle East, including Saudi Arabia, celebrate Eid al-Adha tomorrow. Fear of militant attack on Eid Jamaat is not unfounded, warns DMP Commissioner. Inspection of security arrangements at National Eidgah, preparations underway. Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe died, was shot at a political campaign event. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina expressed deep shock and sorrow. You're up to date so far here on SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satvtv.tv. Stay with SATV.